The quadradedron. I swear to God, it's right in front of me. Here we go. All right, cool. So today we're going to talk about the 3P process that will solve any problem in a business with a repeatable product that you can sell and gives consistent, reliable results, which again is like a pretty cool headline, I think. This 3P process is somewhat unrefined and not 100% perfect, but I believe it's good enough to where, like, if you let that kind of sink into your brain and start brushing your teeth tomorrow, you'll be like, ah, that would be so good. And it's really 3Ps, and let's just do this right here. Here's the first one, which is people. Let's put this in the middle. Then the next one is problem. And the next one is product. And again, I don't know if this should be a pyramid or 3 boxes in a row. I'm not quite sure. I haven't figured out how to, like, make this Jeff Miller slide deck style, but hey, just kind of go with it right here. And again, I don't even know if these are in the right order, but I was just kind of spitballing this with Nick Corum, and he's like, yeah, man, that sounds right. I was like, it does. And sometimes there's 3 Ps, sometimes it's 4 Ps, sometimes your triangle is not correct, but hey, let's see what happens. So most businesses are really, really good at selling a thing, like a thing. And whether it's like nuts or a mug or a mouse that doesn't, or that product, right? Most people can clearly understand they sell a thing. So I'm going to put this here. This is a thing. And this is the mouse, the book, the bag of nuts. Let's put the nuts, the microphone, the car, the phone, whatever it is, the actual product, the thing that you receive in exchange for money. And what's interesting is the vast majority of people, the way that they are brought up is they overvalue things and less value their time. Like, oh my God, how could you break that? That costs $1,000, and you feel bad for like months. But it's like, okay, so that's just like 3 days of work. Why are you bitching, moaning, complaining? Like, there's no reason to instill that level of disappointment and fear over what is effectively like 3 days worth of work. It's totally fine. That's just how we grew up. Like, we tend to overemphasize the value of this type of stuff than our time. More so, and this is for most newer or new-ish agency owners, they tend to recoil and be like, oh, there's no way I'm not worth $1,000 an hour. But this thing, which took an hour to make, is worth $1,000. That's just how our brains are wired and worked. And you should just kind of like lean in and accept it. It's just much easier to understand this is how people's brains works than fight the other fight. Once you do, by the way, you become like up here really darn fast, but it's such a struggle bus that I don't even recommend it for people who are just starting out. You will down the line, but for the most part, this is always a good exercise of recognizing that people's brains, especially with like the way school is taught, education and pay per hour, like people tend to value products more than time, and more importantly, products more than people. Like, oh my God, this Louis Vuitton purse is $10,000 and nobody blinks an eye. But if I said, look, it's $10,000 to talk to me for a week, they'd be like, how could you? There's no way you're worth a month for $10,000. And then they'd negotiate the whole fucking thing. It's like, really, dude? Like, what's the problem? But set that to the side. Just recognize that for the most part, most people's brains, including your clients, they tend to overemphasize the dollars of a product. Just be happy with that. In our case, in marketing, the product, in our case, the product is recordings. In our case, The product is recordings. If you purchase something from me, you bought a product, which is a recording. You purchase a 6 weeks or 90-day program, which is a recording. It's a product. This is what we're covering. This is what we're not covering. For some reason, again, like people just tend to understand the term product a lot easier when I say this. So I'm just going to say the product for you is recordings. And here's the recordings that you get. This is your deliverable. These are your nuts. Cool. This is what you get. The cool part about having a product and recordings is it's the same thing again and again. Like there's no human beingness, there's no touching, there's no confusion. Most human beings, by the way, will like interrupt somebody else when they talk, but will shut up when they're watching TV or shut up when they're watching a video, and they'll watch it 5, 6, 7, 8 times without having to bug the hell out of you. Like most information is consumed by recording or written recording. That's what these are, written recordings, things along those lines. So that's the product, right? The problem is, come on. Here we go. I'll put it over here. Product. You know what I'm trying to do, Google? Here we go. The problem, what a person says in their words, the thing stopping them from their goal, what they want to accomplish, or how do I phrase this? The thing stopping them from the goal, what they want to accomplish, or what they want to get from X. That's the problem. Like, hey, Mr. Johnson, my biggest problem right now is I got like a cavity thing. That's a problem. It hurts, right? I got a cavity. It's a problem. Right now, my biggest problem is that people will sign up for my stuff and not pay me money. That's a problem. My problem is that right now, I don't know how to advertise my stuff on the internet. That's a problem. Right now, my problem is I don't know what my problem is. That's the problem. It's whatever they're saying in their words. And so the uniqueness of the challenge in this process is called localization, is taking what you do and attaching words and verbiage to best match how people describe their problems. And there's this whole like psychology and copywriting behind it. But for the most part, the problem is what people are saying. So let's say I go to, I'm looking at my carpet, I'm like, oh, there's dog hair everywhere, and there's kids throw up, and life after 35 involves just cleaning up one bodily fluid after another and more food on the floor. I have a problem, right? What product will solve that? What product will solve that? I could do it myself. I could get a professional cleaner. I could scrub the hell out of it with baking soda. I could rip out the carpet. There's a lot of different products that could solve my problem, but my brain is going, wow, I really need to get the smell out of my carpet. Fine. Let's just say I'm driving my car and I have a problem, which is like there's so many bugs in my windshield and it's all gross. I need to solve this and it looks horrible and I'm not proud of it and it's just dirty. I'm going to clean it. What product can solve that? What product can solve that? I could spray it down. I could get a cloth and I could take to the car wash. The car wash doesn't like have this like 90-minute customization, we'll do whatever you want conversation. There's like 3 or 4 or 5 different things. Push the button. This is what we're doing. Exchange for money. That's their product, right? The carpet cleaner comes over and says, hey, we're going to do 3 bedrooms for $97 and try to sell you more stuff. That's the product. It's a clearly defined what we're doing and what we're not doing. The mistake very often in our client relationships is we don't define what we're doing and what we're not doing. We tend to undervalue our time and overvalue the product. So we say, okay, we'll do whatever you want. Just want to make you happy and it's going to be okay. We don't say like, this is what the product includes or it doesn't. That happens all the time. And we never really thought about it this way. Again, a product for most marketing agencies is a recording of what we do and what we don't do, what it's covering and what it's not covering. This is not done for you services. We're not talking about like building a website. I'm just saying, here's the recordings. Have a good time. Let's just say, as an example, my toilet was clogged. What would be the digital marketing product version of a plumber? Yes, they could come in and do it. We're not talking about that. It's done for you. I could go to Home Depot, buy the stuff that's done with you and do it myself that's done with you. I mean, if a plumber said, hey, Mr. Johnson, look, I hear what you're saying. It's Thanksgiving. There's 18 over the toilet is clogged. It's embarrassing. I'm going to send you a recording of how to solve this for $37. That is the digital marketing or online advertising agency or Facebook ad agency version of a product. That it's a recording. You can do other stuff too, but we're not talking about that. If you do other stuff, it's not consistent, reliable, and repeatable. It's not a product you can sell. That would be a service. What we want to do is sell a thing and not have to incur an obligation. So all we're doing is getting cash. All we're doing is getting cash, not having to like pay someone to go over there. Just all we're doing is getting cash. And then last but not least is the people. The people, the human beings that have problems that we've talked to, that have told us their problems using their words and verbiage. Just like that. Those are people. It's really these three pyramids, buckets, whatever it is, that's really going to help you figure out how to think about all this stuff. And very often people have a how to think about it problem, not a take action problem, not a doing the doing part problem. It's a how to think about it. Like, I don't know how to go hunting, so I'm frozen. This is how you think about hunting. If you're looking to grow an agency and specifically do digital products, courses, have an easy thing that you can sell without incurring an obligation, this line of thinking is the right way to do it. If you're looking to create a done-for-you service where you're charging $2,000 a month or 3 months in a row for $6,000, cool, this is how you think about it. If you're trying to create a $3,500, $5,000, $10,000 a month service, this is how you think about it. If you're trying to create a $500 a month service where all you're doing is nearly nothing and it's mostly software doing the work, this is how you think about it. This is literally how you create a thing that people want to buy. So if you're running around town saying, I don't genuinely believe I have a thing that people want to buy, if you are in this category, which sometimes I am, if you are in this category, you need to understand this line of thinking. To get to a point where you genuinely believe you have a thing that people want to buy, you have to talk to people. You have to talk to people. No other way around it. Machines are not writing you a check. It's people writing you a check. We have not yet figured out how to get Facebook to pay you money. If we do, I will change my tune. Don't be smart with that. You know what I'm trying to say, okay? It's people that pay people, not machines paying you. It's people paying people. Even when like you buy and sell a stock, it's a human being paying you or you paying a human being. It's people. So if you don't genuinely believe that you have a thing that people want to buy, your first step is not to create a product. Your first step is not to write down a problem. Your first step is to talk to people. I don't care who these people are. They don't have to be the perfect client or customer. They don't have to be the dream client. It could be. That'd be fun. But they don't have to be. Again, it's just like dating. If you're not married, you should just go on more dates. You'll find your wife, right? Like the chances of you writing it down, this is everything you want in a human being, and then going shopping at Publix, the chances of success of that are pretty darn low. You're not actually exercising sociable skills that will lead to a better one-on-one, stronger, intimate relationship. All you're doing is writing stuff down and then hoping you can find it. No. In this scenario, in this story, in this analogy, guess what? You need to talk to people. And if you're sub 10 or sub 20 or sub $30,000 a month, it's anybody that has a business. Don't talk to me about like, hey, I interviewed 30 businesses that are doing over $10 million a month, and this is the one thing that I found. It's like, okay, dude, if you did that, you are well beyond this. Well beyond this. Like, go have a good time. That is some like Ivy League shit that I'm not even gonna get into. That is the same process, by the way. But most people watching this don't have those like, you know, my dad owns a car dealership type problem. You're not plugged in that community. Use the community. Talk to people. The first step is to talk to people. Talk to 15 to 30 people that own a business or at least think they own a business. You will exercise intimate relationships, people building skill sets, skill sets, being able to turn what they're doing into a problem or a product, like all this stuff. It's just like creating your first version of a book. You're going to start writing. Just start writing. Don't like study all the most amazing books in the world. That's going to take you 3, 6, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And yeah, it works. You could be Joseph Campbell that sat in a cabin for 5 years and read all the stuff and created the hero's journey. If you want, cool, man, don't watch this. But if you want to be like, I want a book that people genuinely want to buy, your first step is to talk to people. Your first step is to talk to 15 to 30 people that own a business or think that they own a business and have a conversation. Talk with them and ask them a series of questions. Interview them. Just talk shop. Take them to lunch. Give them a phone ring. Like, hey, man, it's been a while. I think I got something cool brewing up. Can I steal 15 minutes? Yeah, man, I'm not going to sell you nothing. I'm going to ask you a series of questions because I'm taking this course that says I got to talk to people that own a business. And using that, I'm going to come up with a thesis problem and then create a product that solves that. Yeah, I'm not there yet. I'm down here. I'm still doing my interviews, but hey, can I steal 15 minutes? And everybody's going to say yes. Cool. Ask them about their needs, wants, fears, goals, what they hate, what they tried. Very Ryan Levesque ask style. You can ask 5 questions, 10 questions, 15 questions. I like to start it with this. Like I say, like, all right, so what's the number one thing you need from your business? Oh, tell me. What's the number one thing you want? What's your biggest fear right now? What are your goals? What have you hated? What have you tried? This is usually a framework for a conversation. I have more questions and you can build them over time as you get better at this. That's why I say you need to have conversations. Don't run around town trying to like find all these questions. Nope. They are literally 5 questions and then all the derivatives of those questions. Just like that. By the way, here's another example. If you want to get good at interviews, like let's just say you're getting out of college and you want to get good at interviews, should you just spend 3, 6, 9 months studying the interview process, or should you go on more interviews? Same thing. If you want to lose weight, should you study for 3, 6, 9 months on how to lose weight, or just go to the gym? Same thing. Like the trial by fire, by the way, there's no fire, there's no bears, nobody's going to get fucking pissed. And as long as you know how to talk a little bit, it's fine. Step number 1, by the way, if you don't genuinely believe that you have a thing that people want to buy, talk to people. This is how they will build the thing that they want to buy from you. Yeah. Talk to 15 to 30 of them. At the end of them, say like, hey, I hear what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down. What I'm going to do is, well, before we go, is there anyone else that you think might have these similar problems, or any of the business owners you can connect me to? I'm just looking for 2 or 3. I'll give them a ring, have this conversation. Again, not trying to sell nothing, just trying to build my thesis problem. They'll introduce you. If they don't, whatever, who cares? They can say no or say yes. It doesn't matter. Some people are naturally angry like me half the day, but whatever, that's cool. Number 1, talk to 15 to 30 people that think, or at least pretend that they own a business. Ask them about their needs, wants, fears, goals, what they hear, what they tried. Okay. You know, no matter what, it's like a big box of bullshit and frustration. All right, we're going to try this again and see what happens. All right, we're back. All right, cool. Like I was mentioning before, number 1 thing, talk to more people. Have 15 to 30 conversations. Mr. Johnson, let's talk about your needs, wants, fears, and goals, what you hate, what you tried. At the end of the conversation, you're going to do 2 things. Number 1, awesome. Look, before I take a next step, is there anyone else, or are there any people that own a business that you think I should talk to about this? Because I really think I'm onto something, and the more conversations I have, the better. They'll literally introduce you to people. Name, number, and email, go have a good time. Again, not looking to sell nothing, just looking to understand problems and ask these questions. If they don't tell you, fine, whatever. They're angry and they're grumpy like me half the time, but if they do, you're winning. And honestly, you only need 2 or 3 or 4 what are called super sneezers, very Seth Godin style, that can introduce you to as many people as you need. Cool, that's number 1. Number 2, you're going to say, look, Mr. Johnson, I'm going to repeat what I heard just so I understand it. It looks like your goal with your business is to do X. You've tried Y and you hate Z. Is that correct? Cool. Okay. Look, here's the thing. I'm going to talk to 15 to 30 of these other business owners, and I'm going to come back with this like business thesis or this like unifying theory. If I crack this code, I think I can build a product that can solve this problem. Would you be interested in trying out the beta? Is that something I can come back to within like 2 or 3 weeks? Would you be interested in that? Isn't that assuming it does what I think? Cool. They're going to say yes. And if they say no, okay, whatever, that's fine. They don't have the brain space. But 90% of the people say yes. And now you have a repeatable lead generation effort for your upcoming digital product or program or whatever it is. That's it. By the way, what'll happen is you'll look at the notes of these 15 to 30 people. You'll come up with this unifying business sentence, business theory, or universal theory. As it turns out, 90% of the time, what they're looking for, their biggest problem is, how do I get more customers? This is usually their biggest problem. How do I get more customers? If it's not their biggest problem, like if you're talking to contractors and they're like, our biggest problem is permitting, okay, their biggest problem is permitting, fine. If it turns out their biggest challenge right now is like international trade as China introduces taxes and tariffs to Brazil, okay, that's not gonna, no, thank you. Okay, I can't fucking do that. Maybe you could. What's weird is like I have a master's in international business, so like there's ways around that, but let's just set that to the side. 90% of the time, their problems will revolve around getting more customers. They can do that. All the other problems are working, all of them. Like if they're saying, oh, our payroll is too high. Okay, cool. I'll put that down. But what they really mean is I need to make more money so I can afford more payroll. Yeah, that type of stuff. 90% of the time, the problem is how do I get more customers? And everybody's going to say it differently. Some people are going to say, how do I get more X customers? How do I get Y clients? How do I get more roofing jobs? How do I get more patients, more appointments, more gigs? But it's all derivatives of the term customer. Sometimes it's not. If it's not, that's okay. You don't have to do that one. But just be conscious and cognizant of this type of like scenario, and you're going to be good. Cool. Go back to the notepad and be like, all right, they've tried X and Y. They hate Z. Could I create a product, which is recordings on how to get them X and Y without Z? How do I get them more phone calls of somewhat qualified people who want to buy their Argon 18 bike without wasting their time? Interesting. And now you can record videos. Literally can record videos. This is how you advertise your Argon 18 bike. This is how you qualify them. And this is how you get them on the phone. Here's the scripts. Here's the Calendly sequence. Here's the FAQ rebuttals. And here's the best practices. Hey, Mr. Johnson, I did a whole bunch of research, and I think I created a way of working that can help you sell more deluxe car washes without dealing with people that are just wasting your staff's time. Would you be interested in being part of my 6-week beta where I walk you through how to do it one-on-one, you, me, and 3 or 4 other people that are just like you? We got a group coaching call 3 times a week. I will literally show you how to get more customers on the internet without discounting, without giving away anything for free or blank. Would you be interested in being part of that? Awesome. Want to let you know my goal is to take all those recordings, turn them into documented high-quality videos, and then sell it for $10,000. I'm not going to be charging you that money. I just want you to commit to coming on the calls, being interactive, and help me create a product that can solve more problems for car washers just like you all across the world. Are you interested? Cool. Now you've got your beta. Just like that. And 3 times a week, you go live for an hour, say, this is how you do this, X, Y, Z, 1, 2, and 3. At the end of it, you say, all right, are there any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, ideas, or problems? Cool, let me answer that right now. And now you've got your recordings and your documents. Now you've got your SOPs. Now you've got your ways of working. And they fucking love your stuff. And you've got mini testimonials all through the recordings. Cool. Once the recordings are done, you go back and you make slide decks that are somewhat professional looking. And now you have a product, a series of recordings where people, A, got a result, B, are happy that they're working with you, C, you got them quick results fast, and you can run around town knowing that you have a thing that people got a result with, which is dealing with the thing problem at the top. Again, this is the 3P process that will solve any problem in a business, the repeatable product that you can sell and give consistent results or consistent, reliable results. If you genuinely believe you don't have a thing that people want to buy, you need to go through this process. Number 1, talk to real life human beings. Talk to 15 or 30 of them, have the conversations. Number 2, look at those answers, kind of create a master thesis sentence. 99 times out of 100, it's a derivative of how do I get more customers? If it's not, could you solve it? No? Okay, go back and ask more people. Just like that. Then you're going to invite those people on the 6 weeks done with you coaching call program where you go live and you do a Zoom call and people come on in and you walk them through step by step. You've got so many different businesses on there, you can cover 5 or 6 different niches. Or you just focus on one. It's the same. Hey, Mr. Johnson, what we're going to do right now in week 1 is we're actually going to be setting up the right way to acquire a customer on the internet without a discount, without doing X, Y, or Z. What I want you to do, Mr. Johnson, is I want you to tell me right now, what do you do in exchange for money that's most common, most profitable, the thing that people buy the most from you? Like, what's been the thing that gets most people calling your business and wanting to buy your stuff? Oh, it's the deluxe. Okay, cool. Help me break this down. What's included in the deluxe? And speak to me like I'm a child that I've never bought from a car wash before. Here's the 6 things. Okay, cool. So let's create a Facebook ad. I'm going to pull this picture straight from your website. We're going to advertise it to everyone in your serviceable zone. What is that, like 5 miles, 6 miles? Very, very cool. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a Facebook ad that calls out the audience, like, hey, Miami car owners or Honda Civic owners or Miami minivans or whatever. And we're going to do like, are you looking to solve X? Are you sick and tired of Y or a derivative of that? By the way, before we write this out, Mr. Johnson of Car Wash Emporium, what's the biggest thing that people are frustrated with their cars? Is it like gum in the seats? Is it mosquitoes? Okay, cool. Are you frustrated with the gum between your seats? Mosquito juices on your windshield and blank? Cool. My name is Jeff. I'm doing something amazing to promote my Car Wash Emporium. For a limited time, I'm doing best performing offer. All the stuff for only $27. Awesome. If you're interested, click here and sign up or call us immediately. Great. You're cool? Let's do it again. You got 5 or 6 other examples. That's it, guys. That's it. That's all you have to do. And now you have a product. By the way, the cool part about all this is if it's their best performing offer, the thing that they've sold the most of, they already know how to fulfill the order. It's already proven to actually be an offer that people want. And all you got to do is advertise more of it. And if they're already selling it, just advertise in their serviceable zone. I'll say, by the way, Mr. Johnson, when you say this is like the bestseller, how many people are buying this? 2? Okay, but do you have something that people are buying more of? Like, have you ever done any advertising in the past that makes people like say, oh yeah, that would be cool. We should be doing this. What are you thinking? This is it. This is literally it. Not hard, not challenging, not that big of a deal. If you genuinely believe that you don't have a thing that people want to buy, just do this.